So what we're going to look at today is how we get ourselves into these photos, a la the way Kirby Jenner would do it. The idea being that there's a term, this is called production. So pre-production is what you figure out before you're actually doing it. Production is the actual work of it, and most of Photoshop is what's known as post-production. The idea here is if you put more time into the pre-production and the production, you put less time in the post-production. There's an old saying, it's a bad saying, when people say, let's fix it in post. And it's sort of a joke because it's always more expensive to fix it in post. So a big part of this will be getting the image right in the first place. The more correct my image is going into the photo, the easier it will be to integrate it. And I use the Kirby Jenner example because he actually gets the costumes and he sets up the lighting and he does everything based on the photos he already has. So the first thing we do is we need a camera. You probably all have them. It's a phone, right? This is a $11 tripod from Amazon every day of the week, which I recommend. Tripods make your life a lot easier. If you don't have a tripod, ideally you have a little brother or something that can hold on to your camera. But you need something to hold your camera steady. That's a big part. Just to show you, and it doesn't have to be a camera. Obviously, it could be a much better device than that. But if I'm going to go to Amazon and I'm just going to look up phone tripod, and you'll see that there's lots and lots of these. 29 seems a little high for me. You can get them for $7 or $8. As a matter of fact, not that I should be selling you stuff, 16 bucks and it comes with a selfie stick. This is more than I'm looking for. Look, $13. It also comes with a remote control. The remote control is very useful because then you can trigger your own photos. $8.99. Prime delivery too. I could have it by next Monday. Not that this matters so much, but if you go to eBay, eBay's oftentimes delivering things faster these days. Phone tripod. $5.99 for the adapter. Here you go. See, like, look at that. If you had an iPhone, $7 to $7.99. How quickly can they get it to us? Let's take this one because this is for both. They claim they'll get it here between next Saturday and next Tuesday. Do they have the blue? The blue's kind of nice. They do have the blue. Look at that. $9. Anyway, so you can have somebody to hold your image well. You believe that? I closed Photoshop. There we go. Okay, so when I look at this photo, what I'm seeing is a shot from directly head on, and I have a selection in there, which I'm going to ditch, deselect. And the only shadow I'm seeing is underneath people. Whereas if I look at myself right now, I got a light coming this way. So I need to replace that. Have a light. Again, I think I bought this a long time ago, but I think it was $11 at IKEA, which will be reopened soon. And I'm doing this so that I can get rid of the shadow. Okay. It acts like an $11 light. The switch doesn't work that well. But if I light my face up evenly, and I can look at the phone while I'm doing this, and you can sort of see it there, I can avoid the shadow from the side and get more of a shadow coming down here. And I can start to take some photos. I'm going to take one like that, and I'm going to take one looking up, smiling. Looking over. Okay. Now I have several photos. One of the other things I wanted to show you here is how to move them. They'll come in this case, as JPEGs, but you want them the highest quality you can get. One of the reasons we did it this way is that this phone, this is like some Google phone. It's an old one, but it has, free infinite Google Photo on it. And Google Photo is a web service that, nah, that's no good. Um, ooh, that's actually pretty good. You know, I should have taken off my headphones because it's not just the death from above t-shirt is going to give me away, but the headphones are going to give me away. And this is a perfect opportunity. I still can do that, right? Let's go back and get some extra photos without the headphones. And without the mic for a sec. Still the light. Okay. Let's see how those did. Sorry. Let's see how those did. Good. Good. Okay. Both Google and Apple, basically everybody wants, they want your photos to the cloud. They want that because there's a lot of money to be made from that. But because of that, they actually offer you some Photoshop-like services for free. Apple does this, I think. Either way. So let's look at that. I'm going to take a few of these photos and tell them to upload so that we can pull them out of Google Photos quick. Actually, that looks like a keeper. Maybe that. Next, let's put them up to Google Photos. Now, because these store in the cloud, they're already there. See that? Isn't that good? Here are our keepers, basically. These are the ones we'll be able to get away with, I think, because I don't have the headphones on. I have a lot of promise in this one. I want to take a look at it quick. I shaved, but not near as well as I should have. But either way, we'll deal with all that later. Question? Okay, you do have questions, you can always ask. Let's get the photo, and then let's work with it. We got to download it. It'll come down with a strange name, MV image, da 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 da. Okay, let's drag it over to Photoshop here. Open. I know it's going to be in downloads. There it is. Okay, now, oh, you know what? I'm going to show you guys something. They only added this recently, so I don't feel bad about not showing you this before. Adobe has spent a lot of money on artificial intelligence. And the idea with artificial intelligence is that it can use huge supercomputers in other places, and they can figure out, like, they can look at like 1 million photos. This is another reason Google wants your photos and Adobe wants your photo. They can look at all these photos, they can throw them through these algorithms, and they can decide, you know, well, this is what a person looks like. So if we know that, could we use it as a selection? There's a button right there. And probably none of you pushed it before. I'm in a selection tool. It says select subject. I'm going to click it. Some gears are going to turn. And it's got a pretty good selection of me. Do you see that? Not bad at all. The hair, now the hair is my fault. I actually had just washed my hair. Not that matters, but one of the reasons is so that the hair would be down. But I now have a small issue where some of the hair isn't picking up as well as I'd like it to. I can add to the selection, luckily. And let's see what we can get there. See if we can get this. Yeah, that's not bad. We'll get this up here. But you see that that button to select subject saved me quite a bit of time. I'm probably going to regret that, but I can paint that back a little bit. Over here, I'm missing the side of my head. Now you could use a, should we get? See, in 1970, my hair would have been neater than that, so I'm not going to get that little bit of hair down there. Since, as you know, we don't really have hair cutters right now. I'm going to take a look at this, although I want to subtract off there a little bit. Okay, let's take a look at that edge. Select and mask. Oh my God. See, I feel really bad about that shaving thing, although I can fix that too, right? Like, we're in Photoshop, for God's sake. I have no reason to leave that there. Let me back out a little bit. I'll have to deal with this stuff down here since it wouldn't have bits of my background couch there. But that's relatively easy. Relatively easy. Let me hit OK. Let's clean out this junk down here. We're on minus already, so that shouldn't be too hard. Good, that was easy. And really the only thing I want to do is I want to fuzz up the hair selection a little bit. I'm going to use that with a quick mask. Because you see we have these sharp edges, and I don't really want sharp edges there. I would muchly prefer... Where's my paintbrush? There's my paintbrush. Is that too big? That's a little too big. A little bit bigger. Something like this. Oop, wrong one. Let's flip them. Yeah, no, that's not really doing what I want either. I'd like to blur this edge. So why don't we take the blur tool, take that a little bigger. Will you let me blur? You won't let me blur in this, will you? Will you let me smudge? I'm going to do this instead. I'm going to step out a quick mask, step back into my selected mask. I'm going to feather. Will that be too much feather? Let me see. No, that's okay. I could live with that feather. I can live with that feather well, I think. I'm going to hit OK. And I'm going to turn this into a new layer for myself. Edit, copy, edit, paste. So we now have that new layer on top. I'm going to fix where I messed up my shaving job. And again, this is, if I'd prepared better, I wouldn't be doing this. But we happen to know we have a brush designed just to do this. Oh, look at that. So smooth you'd want to tuck a Boy Scout kerchief underneath it. Not really that smooth, but it gets rid of the thing about me not shaving. There's other touch-up I could do, but I'm not gonna. Okay, I got to get that over here. Let's select all. Let's edit and copy. Let's march over here. Let's edit and paste. Should give us a new layer on the top. No, give us a layer way back there. We can only see a little of me, but that's because I'm way too big. Massively too big. Let's zoom out so we can see how big we are, and let's scale ourselves. Remember, we prefer to have too much than too little. We will free transform ourselves, and if we just grab this, it'll do it evenly. There we go. Now I get to decide who am I going to replace. I'm tempted to replace that guy. He's far enough back and he gets the top part of the shirt. It'd be more daring to replace this guy, but I don't know the rest of the body. So I'm going to try to replace that guy. So let's first get ourselves to roughly that guy-ish. I'm looking the wrong way, but I could tilt myself a little bit. I like that. I'm going to hit enter on that. Um, Now, I got to be black and white. I have that layer up top. I should name my layers again, right? Let's call this me. Image adjustments. We have a choice for black and white. There'll be a lot of controls in it. There we go. And actually, this is a good place where you can see I can adjust the tonality. I want to get my tonality pretty similar to this guy. Preset. You know what? We'll look at the various presets. I want to see what a green filter looks like. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I can work with that. Hey, let's see what auto does, just out of curiosity. No, it was better on green filter. I'm going to hit OK. OK. Now I got to get stuff in front of me. I got to pull out Dick Nixon and this guy. Let's block that. And we're going to need at least this guy and this guy. We will head back down. We'll use main background blur. Should I use main background blur? Yeah, why not? You know what? I have no idea. This is one of the problems with that selection tool, the one that just gives you the subject. I don't know what it's going to pick here. We'll click the button and see what happens. It's thinking. See, it kind of goes nuts. That's not even really close to right. But, you know what I do like about this? Is I can do this. I can subtract from that selection. And I have part of Nixon that I need. And I have part of this dude that I need. So, all I really need to get now is the rest of this guy, which I think I can pull with this brush here. We'll put it on additive. And I'll start adding to that. Let's get some of his neck. That's a little too far, but I can subtract it out. Good. And you know, it's funny, it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, I'm probably working too hard because it's just where he overlaps here. And he doesn't really overlap that much. But let's get the top of his head while we're here. Not bad. I want to get rid of that little scrap of something hanging out there. Okay, I like that selection. Selected mask, we can see what that looks like. We're really just seeing it with the blur, I have to say. I'm hitting OK. And I'm going to edit, and I'm going to copy, and I'm going to edit, and I'm going to paste, and I'm going to lift it up on top of me, which is there. I'm going to turn me back on. Okay. So you see I'm starting to blend in. I'm also starting to cover that guy, which is good. I didn't get enough over here. Although, you know, it's probably even easier is me just cropping because I don't need that. I'm going to go into the me layer here, and I'm going to grab my eraser. Eraser, 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 eraser. Good. Good. I'm not totally over his shoulder here, so now's the time when I should be free transforming me. Edit, free transform here. Line myself up a little bit better. I'm probably too big still. Rotate myself a bit. Hit the enter key. I blurred all these guys. If I remember right, it was a 23 pixel blur. On my layer, so I think I'm going to duplicate it so I save a safe one. Duplicate, 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 duplicate. One of these is going to say duplicate over here. Duplicate. Good. I'm going to turn off this one, and then I'm going to call this me blur because I'm going to blur it. I know it's the blurred one. I'm not going to use a space, even though they use them. I don't like using spaces. Let's put that blur on there. blur, Gaussian. I want to say it's less than that. More than that. Yeah, 1.8 pixels. I'm going to try 1.2 pixels. I'm going to go for 1.4. Ah, 1.4 pixels. Ooh, I sort of like that. I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to back off a bit. Any thoughts on that so far? Could I sell it? I might have to find a different version, but it's getting me in the right place. Remember where we came from on this. We came from this, which was actually this, which is actually this, which is one of these, which is from my phone right here on my desk. This is how you do it, folks. You need to get a picture of yourself. You need to make sure it fits in properly. You need to grab that picture, crop it, scale it, put it in the right place, color correct it, blur it, select it. There's a lot to it. Okay, I'm going to leave you to this.